Hey, good morning, guys, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're in. It's about lunchtime, New York, and about 6 a.m. in the morning here in Honolulu. Interesting first half of the day this morning, right? Futures were a little red this morning. S&P picked up a little steam. The NASDAQ jumped right back on that rally from yesterday, got nice and green right now. And the Dow got a little soft. It kind of makes sense. Energy kind of got a little boost this morning. Oil was up a little bit stronger, back up over that $60 level, pushing 61. And that's what we talked about, right? With that energy trade that we talked about the last couple of days. You want to buy into the weakness, sell into strength. So, the clock might be ticking on an entry point. Speaking of sectors that are getting a little love or should get some love going forward, we've got a great stock of the week for you, and I'll release that right after I release this recording. But other than that, hey, let's go take a look at the markets together, guys. Let's go look at some charts. It's really windy here in Honolulu. Maybe you can hear the wind coming through the windows. But anyways, that's our Ollie trade. Let's get to the market here. Let's do some market trading. You can see on the top there, the Dow's down about 23. Let me just get a chart up here. You can see the Dow's down about 22, 23 points. Then NASDAQ's up about 56 points, and the S&P's up about 6 points. Interesting morning this morning. This is an S&P chart, and we've been charting this sideways pattern, right, that it's been making. Yesterday, let me move that handsome guy. And yesterday it broke off this sideways pattern. So we're in a new bull leg. And the market seems to be continuing through that. You kind of fast forward over to the NASDAQ chart, though. Let's go take a look at the CompX. All right. And you see it's starting to break out in that channel and hasn't quite gotten over that. So look, for our charting purposes, guys, we'll move that bottom channel bar up to the most recent high. And let's see what it does in there. Okay. NASDAQ hasn't quite made new highs. Although the Dow and stuff and the S&P have made new highs. Like I said, oil's having a good morning this morning. Oil's having a good morning this morning. It got a little soft in the last hour or so, but it's still holding about that $60 range. And there's just not a lot in the news, right? It's all about this infrastructure bill, this that the Biden administration is trying to push. They actually got a boost too this morning from the Supreme Court. And what happened was through a ruling, now they only have to get the 50 votes in order to push it through, instead of having to have the 60 votes with the filibuster and stuff. Yeah? So that kind of pushes that forward. And you can kind of see it in like your X and things like that, your US Steel and stuff. They're really starting to catch some wind. You look at the X trade over the last 4 years, 5 years. We've been in X for a while. And we started buying it right before Trump got elected because we knew his big thing was infrastructure, right? He wanted to do that infrastructure bill. Well, the trade got discombobulated, and it got discombobulated because other things came up, impeachments, things like that, right? And all of a sudden, it wasn't important to build America. It was important to lynch a president, right? And so you fast forward through time, X just took a beating. It was below $10 at one point, right? $7. It was a great buy, and we would just let the dividends kind of do the work to average us down, and every now and then we'd have a great play. We'd take a little poke, cost average down, and now we're really starting to enjoy the fruition of that. X is around $23, $24. But you see how that trade worked out. It started out as a great trade, right? When Trump got elected, everybody was, oh, infrastructure is going to be a big thing. Never materialized. But then the Biden administration comes in, and once they've got their stimulus and all this other nonsense out of the way, they start focusing on what's important. Well, now this bill, it's going to have some problems regardless. I might not even get the Democratic support that it needs to push through, but we'll see how that works out. They're going to use reconciliation or whatever it is. At this point, the administration is going to use any tool they have to make that happen. It's full of pork, just like the stimulus one was. But like I said yesterday, guys, look, it's just like welfare. Okay, guys, you can get mad about welfare, right? People take advantage of the system. People that don't deserve that money get that money. but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? As much as it smarts to have people scamming the system, it's all about that one person that needs the help, that gets the help, right? And that makes it worth it. And it's just like with this infrastructure bill, roads and bridges. You guys that live on the mainland know this pretty much as good well as we do in Honolulu. We have some bridges around in the countrysides and stuff that are just really frightening, you know. I can imagine on the mainland US, it's even worse than that. So if we can get those fixed and it costs us a little pork, I mean, sometimes you got to bite your tongue there, right? Regardless of your political ideology. America first. That's where people forget, you know, let's put America before Democrat, America before Republican, America before what is it, socialist Democrats, whatever. It should always be America before there. And, you know, if we can get some good American building going here and some labor and all that stuff, but that's down the line, guys. That's a battle that's still to come. As far as the market today, it looks like the legs got a little tired from that big, huge rally yesterday, and it's just taking a little breather. The NASDAQ's continuing a little bit, but like we showed you, it still has a little room to go to get over that recent high. The S&P looks like it started a new bull leg, and so does the Dow. Even though it's a little soft this morning, as we've been speaking, it's trickling, it's starting to push towards green. We're still sitting in the same trades, guys. We got a great stock of the week, and this is a COVID recovery stock. And it's something that we really like, and it's something that, you just don't, it's a big name, but you just haven't heard it much lately. It's in its sector. You've been hearing about the other names in it, and it's kind of just quietly moving into a breakout chart. So if you got some time, check that out, and if you like it, go and grab some. It'll fit that same criteria, which is, of course, we want good dividends. We want a massively strong balance sheet, and we want something great as far as prospects on product or services going forward. All right. So look, guys, let's take it easy on this Tuesday morning. We didn't open any new trades today. Yesterday, we told you we opened the Ford trade. That thing just started to run. Ford's in that Ford chart's looking beautiful. That trade's already up about 25% just in one day, 25%. Depending on when you look at it, right? You see today's market, right? And that'll give you a heart attack. But anyways, look, guys, you have a great Tuesday, okay? Come on back for that stock of the week. You'll really enjoy it. The market right now, let it just kind of get its breath from that huge rally yesterday. There's a lot to be positive about right now. Now, don't forget, we have our usual Thursday labor reports and things like that around the corner. But remember what happened last Friday? We had just blow out employment reports. And that's what led to that huge Monday rally. Let's see if we get a little bit more of that love. We got some earnings coming up, and one of them in particular in a couple of weeks is Ford. So and that's part of the reason too that we grab those contracts. So look, guys, you have a great Tuesday. Really right now, it's just kind of we're positioned, we're sitting, we're letting things come together and looking for exits and things like that. We didn't really see anything we wanted to open up this morning other than that stock of the week. Okay. We bought a little bit this morning. So we put our money where our mouth is. If we talk about it, we're playing it. It's a lot different than what you see on CNBC and stuff. That's one of my big complaints about CNBC. They have these experts come out and tell you 150,000 reasons why you should buy a stock. And they always show on the board, right? If they have positions, their family has positions, their company has positions in the stock, they sit there and they talk it up and they tell you should buy it and it's a must own and you got to have in your portfolio. And then you look at that and they don't even own it, right? The proof's in the pudding. So look, guys, we'll see you for the stock of the week. If you don't come back for the stock of the week, we will see you for tomorrow morning's update. Just kind of sit tight, guys. Let this kind of work out. That Dow right on the cusp of going green again. If we can get energy to start participating in this rally. That might be that second sector that just takes tech and just takes these other the COVID reopening stocks to just a whole new level. Tommy Lee. Now, Tommy Lee is a pull permabull from Stratus. But he's probably right. He thinks April is going to be a huge month, and he's basing it off April. Traditionally, guys, is a good month for the stock market. It's usually a very positive month. It's also, we're starting out a quarter which looks like all the things we need to happen with the economy are starting to kick in, right? Jobs are opening back up, businesses are opening back up, people are getting out and again and things like that. Look at Godzilla versus Kong. I mean, the thing just did crazy numbers, right? It really helped a lot of theaters. I think it was at 53% of theaters showing that movie. So you can see there's a lot to be positive about. Here in Honolulu, you see a lot of tourists out there. You see a lot of people that in places that for a while you were just empty, you know, and all of a sudden you see people out there and stuff. The vaccinations are going well, right? In Hawaii, where some of the islands are already 16 and over, you can get your vaccination. On Oahu, which is where Honolulu is, a main island, the main populace of the islands, and of course the city, we're about to, I think today was the day that they're gonna, today or yesterday, that they're gonna kick in that where it's 55 and over, and right after that they're going to go to that 16 and above. So it's probably the same way where you're at. The vaccinations are going well, and that'll be a big help too. The vaccination, it does a lot of things besides just vaccinate you against the COVID. You know, and think about it, guys. It reinstills a little bit of confidence in being out in public. It reinstills a little bit of confidence in actually going to the store and going to the theater and sitting in a closed room with a bunch of people that you don't know. And that confidence builds and it builds and it builds, and it just fuels more and more and more of this reopening. So we'll see how it goes, guys. As I cut this out, we're up about 6 points on the S&P 500. We're still about 50 points on the comp, and down about 15 points on the Dow. So as we roll into the mid-lunch here in New York time, let's see how the afternoon goes. And let's see how that news cycle, if it stays nice and calm like it has the last couple of days. All right, guys, you have a great Tuesday afternoon, okay?